Okay, so this is simplification and operation with radicals. That's Unit 22, Section 4, dividing radicals. Okay, it's a little tricky. So they hand you this problem here. And what you need to remember is you need to multiply it by the conjugate over itself. So the tool you need to choose is up here. And I don't know if I've already started this, but yeah, I can't. So it's called multiplying by a form of 1. Okay, when you choose that, it brings up this box, and then you need to type in the conjugate, so the conjugate over itself. So since this is 6 minus 3 square root of 14, the conjugate is 6 plus 3 square root of 14, and you need to use the square root up here. I already did that part. And then 6 plus square root of 13 on the bottom. So we can multiply anything by 1, which is just something over itself, and it will still be equivalent. But this will help us get the radical out from underneath the denominator here. It makes the answer simpler. Okay, so now it says, basically, find the result. Multiply these together. So I'm going to need to use some scratch paper to do that. So here we go. So we're going to use the FOIL method. So we're going to go first terms times each other, then the outer terms, then the inner terms, and then the last terms. So let's do that both for the numerators and the denominators. So 7 times 6, 42. Outer terms, 7 times 3, square root of 14. 7 times 3 is 21, square root of 14. The inner terms, 6 times 7, so that's just 6 square root of 7. And then the last terms, 3 times 7, square root 7 times 14. And I'm going to leave it as 7 times 14 right now, for now. Okay, now the bottom ones. So our goal here in multiplying by the conjugate is we're going to get the middle, we're going to get these radicals out from underneath this denominator by doing this. So 6 times 6, again, that's the first terms, 36. The outer terms, so 6 times 3, that's 18, square root 14. Inner terms, 3 times 6 is negative 18, square root 14. And then negative 3 times 9, or negative 3 times 3, sorry, is 9 times 14, because the square root of anything times itself is just itself. 14 there. Okay, progress. So now, I can't do a lot up here, but I can simplify this. The 42, these all have to stay the same because they're not, I can't combine like terms. I can't take, there's no perfect squares here. So I'm just kind of stuck with that for now. But I remember that, I did it again. The 3, this should be plus. Remember that the 3, excuse me, put the 3 down. Remember that 14 is 7 times 2. So I'm going to write this as 7 times 2. Instead of writing 14, I just wrote 7 times 2. Because now I have a perfect square. So in a minute, I'm going to take that out of the radical. And let's simplify the bottom. So 36, put that down, plus 18. Oh, wait, 18 square root of 14 minus 18 square root of 14 is just 0. So I can just write that as 0. Then using my calculator, I can go 9 times 14. Maybe you can do it in your head. And that's negative, so it'll be minus 126. Okay, that's looking a lot better already. Okay, now I'd like to take this out of the radical over here. So I'm going to rewrite what I have so far. 21 square root of 14 plus 6 square root of 7 plus square root of 7 times 7, square root of 49, is just 7. So when I bring it out, then I need to multiply it times 3. 7 times 3 is 21, square root of 2. Okay, now I'll subtract these guys, so I end up with negative 90. Okay, almost there. So now, I notice that all these coefficients are divisible by 3. 42, 21, they're all multiples of 3. So I'm going to divide 3 into both. So 3 goes into 42 14 times. 3 goes into 21 7 times. Keep that square root of 14 there. 3 goes into there 3 times. No, 2 times. 3 goes into 21 7 times. And 3 goes into negative 90, negative 30 times. Okay, so now I'm going to input this up here. So now I write, and I think I'm going to leave the negative underneath for now. So I'm going to write parentheses, always use parentheses, 14 plus, oops, I use a plus, 14 plus, now 7, I'm looking at my notes, 7, and then I bring down this radical sign from there, 14 plus, now make sure your plus sign comes outside that parenthesis, 2, bring down the radical sign, 7, square root of 7, plus, again we'll go outside that parenthesis, 2 square root of 7 plus 7 square root 2. Bring down, use that there for the 2. Okay, and then let's go outside and put another parenthesis there to show that all that stuff is on the numerator. And then divided by negative 30. Okay, let's hope we typed it in right. Oh, sadness. Okay, so what did we do wrong? So if we check our, if we check, we should have 14 square root 7. Let's see what we did. Oh, there's no parenthesis in front. I have to have the parenthesis in front to show that that's the so okay, there we go. Okay, let's say okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, good. So here we go. So we have all that in. And now there's one thing left to do. The most complete form would be to have that negative up on top here. So in order to do that, we're going to choose, let's see, multiply by a form of 1. Let's do that. See if it'll let me go. Oh, it doesn't like that. Okay. Let's try simplify fractions. Select a fraction that can be simplified. Let's try this. Okay, now I'm going to move that negative up on top. When I do that, I have to distribute it. So I need to type negative 14. We better have the parenthesis in front because we want to show that this whole thing is in the denominator. And then we type negative 7. Use your square root sign. 14. Two and square root 7. And then go outside that parenthesis there, and then also a negative. So the negative is going to be distributed through each one of those terms, which is the most simplified form. 7, at least for our purposes anyway. Okay, and then I need another parenthesis, and then, oh, I pressed enter accidentally. Bummer. Now we'll put another parenthesis right there. Ah! Bummer. Okay, so parenthesis. Let's try again. Negative. So we're going to type in all this stuff. I'm using my other hand. Negative 7 square root. You gotta do it carefully. You don't mess up. Oops, and you gotta film carefully too. All right, 14. And then negative 2 square root again. And then go outside that parenthesis and type negative . Okay, I think we've got it. Now we just need a parenthesis at the end there. And I need a tripod. Sorry for the Jerry camera here. Oops. And then we do the division sign and 30. So we don't need the negative anymore because we put the negative on top and distributed it throughout. So this should be it. There's a lot to remember to type in. Let's see how we did. Yay, we did it. Okay, so that's it. That's the most simple form because nothing can divide into 14 and 30 and 7 and 2 and 7. There's nothing that can be combined. There's all these, what's under the radical in each case is different, so we can't combine those, so I think we're done. Let's see. Yay! Congratulations.